Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I on this side? Let's switch it up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. I am Fabio, and that is none other than my partner, Gio. On this episode of Milan Coast to Coast, what can you expect? Well, I'll tell you guys right now. Me and G, even though I'm on vacation, the show does not stop. We're here to talk no European nights for Milan, but there was some good action. We're going to talk as much as we can about the Italian teams and some of the other matchups. We're going to talk that big Berlusconi documentary, Condemned to Win. We are condemned to talk about it. It was a great thing. Me and Gio are going to just give our thoughts about it. And then, of course, we got the preview for Milan Udinese coming. We got hopefully your super chats. Any questions, comments you want to throw in, please hit us with the super chat. And if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing you got to do, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the times we're going live and dropping videos. Make sure you leave a comment if you're checking us out later on all of our audio platforms and, of course, YouTube. And, of course, if you want to help support the channel, which is the most important thing, if you are a Milanista or a Calcio lover or just love me, Gio, Vinny, Steve, and everybody else associated with the channel, you got to become a Patreon member or Super Chats, ladies and gentlemen. Gee, it's Friday night. We're feeling good, baby. We're feeling good, right? You're ready for a good show tonight, G?
You know, I'm ready, Fabio. I don't know what the hell going on outside, but I'm ready, baby.
All right, let's go. Welcome to Milan Coast to Coast.
Milan Weekly Podcast presents Milan Coast to Coast with your host, Gio and Fabio.
Benvenuti nella casa
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. I'm Fabio, joined by my partner, Gio, coming live from Southern Florida and Southern California tonight. We are two different coasts tonight. G, how you doing, bro?
Nah, it's Friday, Fabio. A lot of things to discuss. That documentary got us going crazy. A lot of things that, I didn't know, because I ain't got no family in Italy. And then just to see, like, the Italy teams in Champions League, and then let's see with the preview. But I'm excited, man. Friday nights are our best nights, Fabio.
Hell yeah. It's usually where we do our best work, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's, G, before we get to the documentary, we had a lot of good football that happened. Unfortunately, we weren't a part of any of it because there's no European nights for us right now. But there were Italian teams in the Champions League. So let's start with one of the premier matchups that happened this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. This week, excuse me. Manchester City hosting Napoli. The return of De Bruyne back in Manchester City. And, well, the game got put pretty early thanks to a stupid tackle by Di Lorenzo. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. An awful play on the through ball and then just sliding into Haaland, not even trying to get the ball. He was lucky at first that the ref thought he actually made contact, but then they review it, and here we go. There he goes, sent off, the game down the drain. G, what were your thoughts on Manchester City, Napoli?
You know what's a good test? What I was trying to see is a good test for. I want to see if Conte legit, because we know that he's Faloni, but only just like Lord Figo is, stealing people's lines and all that. We don't do that over here. We know Dame Dashes with Camerons over here. But anyways, no, I just wanted to see the matchup, because I think that Napoli, they really had a good transfer window. They just had key pieces. They got a little bit younger. Center backs and everything. So I just wanted to see, and then like always a good to see like a homecoming from Kevin De Bruyne. But Di Lorenzo, man, he's been having a lot of brain farts like that. So what else do you expect from that? So
and this is a constant starter on the national team for Italy, and this guy goes and ruins captain in the Napoli team this night, and he ends up getting sent off. Listen, they did pretty good to hold them for the first 45, but the second 45, within the first 10 minutes, they give up a goal to Haaland, and then Doku, who was just a beast himself, another 10 minutes later. These players in Man City, let's just say one thing, though. Tajani was out there. He didn't look great. Any thoughts about what you saw from him, then, as a former Milan guy?
Fabio, I mean, this thing was to Johnny, he got everything, but sometimes, well, last year he showed his end product, but the games that I've been watching with Manchester City, he hasn't had that end product, and that's what a lot of people were saying. Like he had a couple chances, Fabio 1-on-1, and then he doesn't. He shoots it, but he shoots it wide. So, I mean, Tijani, he's still building probably about the physicality, everything like that. So, but I mean, to me, Fabio, it would have been a great game. It was going to be a matchup from Pep. You know, Pep is my new favorite manager, Fabio, right now. Like, I love what he's doing in the press
Wow.
conference. Yeah, he letting his nuts hang, and I like that.
Whoa. He's
Pause.
letting his nuts hang. Is that what we're saying right now? Okay. Oh man, listen. This is really important here. Manchester City, I think they could have had a much different game if Napoli had stayed with 11. But as soon as they dropped to that 10th guy, it was rough, man. Again, I thought, man, Tishi's going to find it at some point, but he didn't need to. The rest of the team picked him up. They said this was Italy's best versus England's best. Well, the game was pretty much screwed up within the first 20 minutes. But let's go to a game that actually had some real thrilling parts to it. Juve Dortmund. Now, Juve, I guess they had to feel that every game needs to be a goal fest. After the Derby d'Italia against Inter, which they won 4-3, now they go and they play Dortmund, and this game was just crazy, bro. Juve 4-4, goals by your boy Susan, 2 goals from him, and Kelly again finding the net. What were your thoughts on Juve Dortmund 4-4?
Bro, like Susan Vlahovic out there putting in that resume like that. We messed up not picking him up. Boy, oh boys. Susan, I think he's finally fit, Fabio. He looks fit and boy, oh boy, ever since he came out. But that first goal from Adeyemi, woo shit, man. That was a rocket, bro. And stuff. But you know what? I want to say, Di Gregorio, you got to do better on that third goal. I don't know how. I think Yan Ito, his name is. I don't know how the hell he made that third goal, bro. That was crazy. But it was just crazy to see, man, that Turdo got them scoring goals. He ain't got them defending, but he got them scoring goals. They scored, what, 2 goals in 3 minutes in the final, in
Yep,
extra
in the
time?
final. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. 94th and 96th minute to save the game.
yeah.
So, I mean, look, it looked bad because they got that 4th goal on the pen right at what, the 86th minute. So it looked like it was over. There was no coming back. And then they pulled 2 goals out at the end. I mean, that was pretty sweet, man. Pretty good. I mean, listen, I know Juve, they're a little like, you're not exactly sure what to expect of them. They didn't want to keep this coach, and they were looking around maybe to go somewhere else. But in the end, he's got them playing pretty good. They brought in some good talent, and they're making shit happen. So at least they took a point, didn't go out without nothing, because they looked like they were going to go down all 3 points there. But let's go to the other team. All right. So before we get to the last team, we'll talk PSG Atalanta, the defending champions PSG hosting Atalanta, and man, this game was over from the jump, bro. 3 minutes, Marquinhos scores, and then Kvaratskhelia with a great goal to put them up 2-0. Woo! And then they just kept rolling, bro. Nuno Mendes another one, and then Ramos gets the last one in extra time. I mean, disappointing, but did you expect anything different when PSG Atalanta?
Hey, Maldini lovers, you guys said that Kvaratskhelia couldn't play on the right. Well, who's playing on the right now? Okay, you
Yeah.
see, your daddy made a lot of mistakes too, but we're not gonna be here or there. But boy, oh boy, Kvaratskhelia goal was crazy, bro. And then our favorite clown of the week or the donkey of the day, Musa, giving away a stonewall penalty. His ass has not learned anything, bro. He has not learned anything, bro. Like, boy, oh boy, thank you, Atalanta, for taking out his salary off the books because we don't want him, bro.
Yeah, they're not going to keep his ass. They're going to send him back for sure once they realize what they got. So definitely disappointing. And the only Italian team that actually showed up in the Champions League and helped me hit my bet, thank you very much. You finally did something good. 2-0 over Ajax. 2 goals again from Thuram. Thuram is a goal machine right now. What were your thoughts on Inter Ajax?
You know what? Inter, they not playing good in the league. They getting beat up all over the field, just like Diddy used to beat up on Cassie back in the days. Which is not
Oh,
cool. Yeah, but they came, and that's the difference between us and Inter, bro. Like they take care of business. Ajax, yeah, they're there, they're a tough team, but they take care of business. And Taram is a guy that shows up when the team needs it. Not in the finals, not in the finals, but if you need to go group stage, semifinals, quarterfinals, but in the final, we go missing, like Lord Figo under the Lower East Side Queens, wherever that is.
Listen, all I know is Thuram, both sides of the interval he hit, and I was happy because I needed it to hit my bet. That's all I give a shit about. But good for them, at least being the only team to show up for Italy in this Champions League first round. Few other games we want to just touch base. Bayern, Chelsea, man. Now, I'm not going to front, man. I thought Chelsea is one of the games I stay away from on the bet side. I did want to put Cole Palmer, and I should have. I'm an idiot. I would have had that anytime goal scorer. But Bayern showing their quality at home. 2 goals by Harry Kane. I mean, what were your thoughts on this one, bro?
Well, we trying to I'm trying to figure out if Chelsea is good or they're not good. They won the World Club Cup, but it showed, man. I mean, they still got a lot of work. It's like Chelsea is crazy, bro. Like, yeah, they sold a lot, but boy, oh boy, they bought a lot of talent, but they still missing a sub striker and stuff like that. They're very limited and everything like that. But it was just very disappointing. I thought it was probably gonna be a 4-4 game, but I thought wrong. Bayern, they put the clamps on them, bro.
All right, and the last 2 teams we're going to talk about are the 2 Spanish giants. We'd be remiss if we don't talk about Real Madrid defeating Marseille and Barcelona defeating Newcastle. What were your thoughts, bro? I mean, Barcelona, I wasn't aware that Lamine Yamal was hurt, but they were able to still go in there, handle their business. Still have Rafinha, still have Lewandowski, and they did what they needed to do against Newcastle. I can't front. I always looking forward to seeing Tonali and hoping he does well. But Marcus Rashford was the star of the game. 2 goals for Barcelona, and he's looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good. What were your thoughts on these 2 games?
Yo, Tonali got schooled on that second goal, bro, because he was with him, and then he did the little shimmy. He gave him that space, and then he did that rocket. I think Eddie Howe, he let Newcastle down. I think if they would have played that Voldemort, they would, because they needed a striker, Fabio. They were getting a lot of crosses in, but they didn't have nobody to hit the ball at the back of the net. If they would have played Voldemort, it would have been cool, but hey, Barcelona did what they did, and then it shows you that they really struggled to create without Lamine Yamal. And imagine your team can't function without a 17-year-old. It's kind of crazy.
It's crazy, yo, and big ups to our American Timmy Weah getting the first goal against Real Madrid for Marseille. I mean, great moment for at least the U.S. International. But Mbappe, bro, 2 penalties, 2 goals. Kid, this is what you got him for. Carval got a stupid red card on the 72nd minute for shoving his forehead into somebody's cheek. I know it's very soft, but what the hell are you doing, bro? This is Champions League. They're lucky they still were able to get the penalty after and end up winning 2-1. But Real Madrid, no matter who they have, no matter what's going on, I don't know if Xabi Alonso is going to get them to the Ancelotti levels, but a win is a win, bro.
Xabi Alonso looking like a shit manager, bro. Or he's not up to that pressure. I've been watching all their games, and they've been looking trash, bro. Even in La Liga, they look straight garbage, straight diarrhea shit. Like it's just crazy. He's on fraud notice, Fabio. He's on fraud notice.
You think he's a fraud, even though helping Leverkusen get that chip a year or 2 years ago?
But remember, Gasparini, Dick slapped them all around the pitch. He went pop, pop.
Whoa! No. I don't remember no dick slapping. I remember Lookman having a game, but I don't know about dick slapping, bro. That's a big accusation right there. All right, so that's basically the Champions League game. That's the first weekend, man. Arsenal got their victory, so you know they're half a hard on over there. We got Spurs getting a win. That's crazy. And we'll see. It's only 1 week. You got 7 more match days to go. But tough start for the Italians. It'll be a damn shame if Inter's the only one in the top 8 with this new format. But we digress. Let's move on. So in the United States, there was a big documentary that dropped on Tuesday, a 3-parter, whole bullshit. Have to sign up for extra ESPN Plus Unlimited. This is ass. We got it all. I don't really understand it, but we made it happen. Got to check it out. And it was a great 3-parter of Berlusconi, his life, becoming the owner of Milan, gaining his fortune, then trying to become prime minister, achieving it, losing it, winning it again, losing it. A lot of parallels to what you see of certain politicians in major headlines right now. Berlusconi was doing it back when nobody expected. And big ups to the documentary for never uttering the words "boonga boonga." I'm very surprised that did not hit the airwaves. But what were your thoughts on the documentary, bro?
You know what my thoughts were, Fabio? Like when Berlusconi bought us, he was a revolutionary. Like, he had like, okay, we need to make this money on advertisement. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like very Americanized, like the Premier League has done. Don't get it twisted. A lot of y'all motherfuckers hate Americans, but we are your daddy. We teach you how to get this money on. We teach you how to get this money on. Because let's be honest, footy or couch or whatever you want to call it is a broke sport. Like y'all not even making 40, 50 million a year unless you go into Saudi Arabia and all that. But that's not here nor there. But I liked how he was a revolutionary, and then he became the typical Italian, like that guy that's holding us back, that doesn't want us to build our stadium. And I really thought, like, every time that he would go for re-election or do for the prime minister, Fabio, that you would see a dip in Milan. When he was just solely focused on Milan, in 2 years, Frigo, something you can never do. In 2 years, Scudetto, next year, Champions League. That you can never do that, Lord Figo. So I want you to understand that. So in 2 years, he did all that, and then he started and I liked how he started his media company. He worked around the system and stuff like that. But my biggest take is that he never wanted to go to jail and drop the soap. You feel me? Because every time that he was about to get convicted, he became the prime minister, and then he passed another law, and then that's when Milan would dip. Every time that he was busy, that he couldn't go to the games, we were dipping, and dipping. And that would happen. I think he got elected like 3 times according to the documentary.
I believe so. I think it was 3 times. Yeah, because I think it's like a 4 or 5 year term as well.
Yeah.
Every time he
and
did
then
it, yeah.
my only gripe with him is like I think it was I don't want to say the word wrong, and I wish that Facebook Frank was here. It was like the Talagati scandal, and that was in 2008, and in 2009 Qatar. The people who own PSG, they came a knocking to Berlusconi, and then he didn't sell us. I mean, that's my only gripe with him.
No, they didn't. They didn't mention that.
Yeah, they didn't mention that, but he had that scandal, so he already knew. Like, bro, you knew you was messed up. You should have just sold us, and we would have had all this money in this world. But that was my only thing. But my thing is like, I think the best comment out of the whole documentary was like, Serie should have been the Premier League, but we were too greedy. And like we said, look at us, we can't even build a stadium. Like, we had all the talent. Premier League. Did you guys see the talent that we had in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s? Premier League would just dream of having that right now. Yeah, y'all had said that we never had Messi, but we had Maradona. We had all these great legends, bro, in the game. I guess we just forgot to we don't need to be marketable. We're going to be like this forever. We never evolved with the change. That's the only thing.
Well, what's really interesting, though, when you watch it, and being that you and me were basically 1 year old when this guy took over, it, he implemented class. He wanted to have Armani and Gucci, all the high designers. He redid Milanello, so it looked like a luxury lodge. I mean, again, the guy just said, you know what, we're going to turn everything to a high class operation. And remember, just a few years earlier, they were relegated to City B. And of course, the stupid clock has to go off exactly at the same time. But all right, G, I'm gonna have to mute myself for a second, but you keep talking about the documentary while this clock finishes up, bro.
Nah, like I said, like I don't know, but I just got a better insight because like Fabio, he got a family in Italy, so like he'll have more insight. I love the documentary. I think like everything they put together, and Boban was like one of the main guys, and I like shout out Apollo Tatori. He's like a Milan fan that got in, that was like in journalism and everything. It was a cool, and Sumo was there too. He was there, and it was just crazy to see everybody's aspects and to see how Milanello was like A1. I guess they say the best training ground right now is Manchester City's. Like that's how class Milanello was, and in that time, bro, Milanello was like up here, and then all the other clubs are right here. Like yeah, I couldn't even see that training ground and stuff. And then they would just say that Berlusconi will call them, and then he was already signing it on the dotted line. So, good take for me that doesn't have any family in Italy, and just wanted to know more about it. But I like the 3 part condemning to win.
Condemned to win. I mean, the
Mm.
guy, honestly, I think his major thing was that he kept wanting to do more and more. I think if he just focused on, you know, just collecting his money with his cable channels and also focusing on Milan. But when you start getting that sort of success and having that sort of money, there's this extra temptation of power that, you heard in the documentary. He even said that basically his parents were telling him, one day you're going to be the president of Italy. You'll be the prime minister, and he really thought that. And with being so successful as the owner of Milan, implementing so many changes, bringing in high quality players, and bringing in this coach that he believed in, because everybody else thought it was crazy. I mean, he didn't even have any real. I think he was at Parma in Serie B, and he brings him up after a week or two of bad football or not looking like they're really on the same page. They started clicking, and then we've had some historical seasons in the next 4 or 5 years there, and then switching to Capello, winning the Champions League, having back-to-back appearances, losing one, and then winning against Barcelona 4-0. Then having a bit of a dip, coming back, and then the Renaissance era with Ancelotti and winning the Champions League and winning a couple of Scudetto. I mean, it was just such a great time, and it was so great to reminisce, being that you and me really only got to watch the Ancelotti time in real time. Everything else before that has only kind of been historical, told to us. So to see it from the beginning and have such a major institution like ESPN putting a documentary about Milan, it was great. Berlusconi is a character in himself. And then, of course, they did touch upon the fact that they sold us to a nobody, a Mr.
Yeah.
Nobody, as the guy said it. And they showed that the iconic, insert coin in Stage AC
Mhm.
Milan. It was just a great documentary. And like, I just echo your sentiments. If the guy just stuck to Milan and not being greedy and wanting more power, he could have probably gone even longer. But the rich and powerful, they always want more, and he wanted to be the prime minister. And every time he was basically doing a lot of stuff that we see politicians are doing now, and he was doing it ahead of his time in Italy. He really was revolutionary, and he was rubbing shoulders. You saw Bush, you saw Putin. Yeah, he was up there, man. He was up there. So I don't know. How can people say you hate Berlusconi, even with the things that you might have
Mhm.
politically against him, and just in regards of like a
Mhm.
civilization and how this guy was abusing his power and everything? I could say that if you're not a Milan fan, I could see how you focus on that stuff because that stuff is important. But as a Milan fan, how could you ever speak ill of the guy who went and said, you know what, fuck everything. I'm going to make this a world class organization in a spot. And within 1 year, did it, man. I mean, listen, if Diddy came a knocking and he had all that money, I'd be a big Diddy fan. I wouldn't give a shit, man. I'm just being honest. Berlusconi was a Diddy before Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He was doing it all. And what a time to be a Milan fan, bro. What a time. Any
Fabio,
other thoughts before we move on?
just before we move on, in the documentary, who was like the better coach out of all three of them? Even they mentioned,
Um,
I forgot his name. Facebook friend. It was the guy after he became the prime minister and it went down, and then bro, because his name is not popular. Um,
the prime minister before that, he was like
no,
always
no,
with
no,
it.
no. The coach in between when we won the Scudetto, we were in the third jerseys. We played Perugia.
Oh man,
Now,
I can't remember. I
yeah,
can't
he's
remember.
like no, but to me, they focus on Capello like he was like the best coach of all time, like for Milan. Because I think we were hard to beat, and we were beating teams like 1-0 and stuff like that. To me,
Zaccaroni, Zaccaroni.
yeah. So there you go, Fabio. So I'm just saying, but to me, who was your favorite coach out of the four? Seeing this
Oh man,
documentary.
I mean, my favorite coach is always Ancelotti, bro. Ancelotti was the man, bro. I thought he was. I mean, they even talked about when Capello came back and it didn't work out. Capello came back like a few years later and it just didn't work out. Uh, People could say Saki. That's obviously, you had, the Dutch trio there that were amazing. And then, we have the years with Capello, who had so many good players. But for me,
Mhm.
my time, I always think Ancelotti was good, man. It was like the last bit of the hurrah. But people say Saki all the time, so I mean, it's either or. I feel like Capello's a good coach. Everybody knows him. He went on to coach Juve for a couple of years, and there was so much. But yeah, he revolutionized. He's talking Saki, definitely. Again, and that's also to Berlusconi. Berlusconi wanted an attractive style of football because that's what he wanted. He wanted to put an attractive product out there that looked good, and half of look, the Dutch trio and half the Italian national team. I mean, again, it was a different time, but it was just great to see it all about Milan, man. But all right, let's move on. Let's talk Milan now coming up Friday night, which means Milan tomorrow, Saturday, 2:45, 11:45 for you, 8:45 prime time in Italy. Milan Udinese. Gee, Udinese not doing bad either, man. They're at the top. They're only one draw, 2 wins, 7 points. So we are behind them. We need to leapfrog them here. What are your thoughts about Udine, man? How confident are you to traveling there and getting the 3 points, given the result?
Bro, like I say the same thing with Udine. I think Udine the most physical team in the league. They got a 6 foot and up, like they're an NBA basketball team. I think we're linked to one of the Danish center backs for January now. But we had to. My thing with this game, Fabio, like I always say, especially with Udine, we're gonna have to play with heart. We have to play with passion, and we have to win the 50-50 balls, which means that we're going to be more physical than them. It's not going to take a wonder goals or anything like that. If we do that and we go manhandle them and they hit us, we hit them back, we let them know that we're there, and they tell us like, whoa, this is a new Milan, then we could get the win. That's what it's going to take with an. Like you can't like basically Barcelona, them they're not gonna do that. Them 6 foot 7 footers in there are gonna knock every ball out of the penalty area. So to me, we need to be physical, we need to be strong, and we need to be is smart. Just don't get frustrated. And that's the thing that I think that the guy that's gonna give us over the line again is Modric. Not him scoring the goal, it's just his leadership, him telling the players, calm down, we're good, we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. So I think that he's the reason that we're gonna get there. I think to me, I'm gonna say 1-0 because I think besides Romagnoli goal 2-1, I think that we scored like a couple years ago. I don't think we scored more than 2 goals versus Udine. Have we? Not that I'm aware. I think our
Um,
average versus
against
Udine is like
Udine, no,
I think
we put up a 4-piece on them not that long ago.
was that Copa Italia though or Serie A? Because Copa Italia don't really be counting
It
like that.
says Serie A according to the app. It
Oh,
says
okay then.
according to
Shit,
the app, it says it was in Serie A 4-0.
oh, was
But
that opening night or whatever after the Scudetto? I think it was. I don't know, but yeah. So we just got to be physical and then just take our chances.
no, that was no, one of the second to last games of last season. We played them. We won 4-0. That was the last time. They played us pretty tight. We've either been like a high scoring affair, like 2 years ago, which was 3-2. But another time they catch us sleeping, caught us 1-0 on the 2023 campaign. And the year before, 2020, the season before 2022-2023, they got us 3-1 last time. So again, it's not easy. We could be looking at either a blowout for us or a tight game. Could be either or. Allegri, that Cotomuso, it's always by a hair, by a nose. So I'm expecting the same thing. I think this Udinese is going to probably play pretty tight, pretty well. Um, really need to put on a good performance. There are rumors that this could be a game for Pulisic and Kuku to start together. That's the rumor. So I'm hoping and leaning towards that, man. And I think you're right in regards to Modric is probably going to have to be the player of the game again for us. Vince Mancini, looking good, gents. Shout out to Milan Club Toronto. Winnipeg Zone was in the building for Milan Club Toronto, and he was hanging around the Toronto parts this week. So big up to Vince Mancini. We appreciate you, man. So Milan Udine, what's your prediction score, G? What do you got?
1-0. I don't say you might. I don't know. I might be having flashbacks. Maybe last year at the end of the year, but the popular to me, it's always either 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, stinker and shit like that. So I think if we're gonna win with Allegri ball, it's 1-0. And hi everybody. I told you Allegri wasn't gonna have us committing any stupid ass shots on goal like that. So hi, our expected XG is the best in Europe against us. So shout out to Allegri for being a madman. But 1-0 for me, Fabio. If they give me another, they give me 2-3-0, I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah, you're right. The beginning of last season, Chukwueze got us the goal, 1-0. That was the first game against Udine last year. But I'm gonna go the same. I think it's gonna be 1-0. Actually, no, I'll change it just to be different. I'll be 2-1. We don't keep the clean sheet, but we're gonna have Nkuku gets his first Milan goal, and Pulisic gets the other by an assist from Modric. And I will go Modric again, player of the game. That's what I'm rolling with. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Any parting shots, G? What's going on with Milan Club SoCal tomorrow? Give us the news.
We at the Springbok tomorrow. Springbok and Van Nuys, shout out to them and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be going, probably not, but yeah, we're at the Springbok. Milan Club Boston, which I'm a member, and then we at Ducali's.
Me too,
Milan,
motherfucker. Me too.
oh shit, but bro, they give you that pass. Nah, I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'll play, but I'm playing. But now, shout out to all the clubs like that we mentioned. Milan Club Dublin's gonna be at the Woodshed. Milan Club Montreal gonna be at
Montreal.
Chicharo's. Toronto's gonna be at Taps Millhouse, right? Or
Mills Tap House, but
the
yes.
Mills Tap House. So those are the only clubs that I know about that I support. I support all the other clubs, but I don't know where they meet up and stuff. And basically, my parting shot is, man, let's keep rooting for the team. That's why we chose the red and black colors for a reason. And this is not for any player or anything like that. It showed you, man. Even in the 30 for 30, it showed me it's about the colors. Players have come and gone, and we've been successful. So let's support the team.
Absolutely. I'm just going to piggyback in regards to the clubs, of course. New York City Club meets always at Legends Bar in the Football Factory, 33rd and 5th Avenue. Go check it out, 2:45 game time. There will be members of the club in attendance. It'll be a great atmosphere. Do not miss it. Go check it out. I'm going to be watching right here in my living room because I am in Southern Florida right now. Chilling, but we'll see. Well, hopefully I can make it out for the Milan Napoli game or Milan Juve game, one or the other. It's going to be big match, big stuff going on. Guys, it's always a pleasure to be here Friday night.
Fabio, I know we're
Yes.
gonna quit. A big announcement, man. If you're in the LA area, please come support us for the Milan Juve. I think we're gonna be putting a link. We are trying to get the game at the Cosmo. You seen the Cosmo, what it is, Fabio? You seen the Cosmo, right? It feels like yeah,
That is
yeah.
yo.
We're trying
You guys
to
do
get
that.
it. A Milan Club Milan Club, Juve Club Hollywood. They got like 40 people, and we need some. We got the Milanistas, you know, me, Ale, and all them. But they will be there if we go to Cosmo. But we really need like more heads. So if you see anything on our thing, we trying to be at the Cosmo, bro. This shit will be legendary. First Serie A. Like this gonna be crazy because you know we're gonna be posted everywhere and stuff like that. So if you are a LA Milan fan, come. Even if you're a Juventini, bro, just come, bro. We need Serie A to grow because that's what I'm about to. I hate those fuckers, but if Serie A gotta be seen good too, let's do it. So that's my last shout out. My bad.
That's what's up, man. You got to give us a report from there if that goes down. That's going to be dope. So if you're in the greater LA area for Milan Juve the first week of October, you got to come through. Stay in touch. Follow Milan Club SoCal on Instagram. I'm sure they'll keep it posted if things are going down. And yeah, big ups to all the clubs out there, everybody that tunes into Milan Weekly Podcast channel and supports the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't, and follow us again on all of our audio and YouTube and Instagram and your sister's ass and everywhere you can. And say what up. Make sure you leave a Yelp review if you go visit Lord Figo's mom's patty spot. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate you. Check you soon. Ovunque e sempre.
Sempre. Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. Check out pregame Patreon special tomorrow with Vinny. Make sure you're a Patreon so you can get the invite. Good night, everybody. Peace out.